Hello, this is Dr. Kavian Milani for Virginia Medical Updates. As we look back at 2016, there are 3 books that I felt that it's important for us to review these books one more time, to analyze them and to take some time to review your content. I can really say that as far as my own medical practice is concerned, these books have been amazingly helpful. And at times I've actually have prescribed these books to my patients to read and to come back to the office and spend some time with me in analyzing the books. And I can really say that my prescription writing for antidepressants and for anti-anxiety medications have significantly decreased with the use of these books. You may say, why? Well, first of all, the reading of books by themselves has an anti-anxiety effect. So about 10 to 15 minutes of reading per night actually does decrease anxiety. But these books are so insightful and they are so valuable and so deep in terms of the psychological insights that they provide for the patients that actually they do, in a sense, create a motivation and an interest and insight for the patient to begin to re-examine and to re-navigate and reconfigure their lives. One book is the very important, the seminal book, The Happiness Track by Emma Seppala, who is a professor of psychology at Stanford. This book, even though it is written for the informed audience and not the expert, and it reads really easily and has a good flow, the book is incredible in terms of the insights it provides and in terms of the narrowing down the elements of happiness in the normal busy life, the kind of life that you and I may have in Northern Virginia. So anyone from the cab driver to the administrative assistant to the physician to a person who works for government can benefit from the insights that this book provides. So the first book is The Happiness Track. The second book, which is basically the complement, in a sense, to this book, is called Peak by Professor Erickson. Peak is an incredible book. It is the summary of a 30-year study of excellence and how can normal average people, by focusing and by dedication and by what is dedicated practice, achieve genius achievements. And this book is important because it does do away with the concept of genius. It does make the emphatic point that really what we call genius is not a matter of IQ. It actually is a matter of perseverance and goal orientation and correct mentorship and focus and purpose. So the idea of purposeful practice that the book comes up with is really a very important book. And it does change the achievement, the approach to achievement and to super success for everyone, for a scientist, for a gymnast, for a physician, for a movie director, for anyone who wants to achieve in any field of human endeavor. So the second book is Peak by Professor Erickson, and I highly recommend that book. It is so well researched, it is so amazingly written, and it does have really in every chapter a lot of stuff that comes out and tells you exactly the outcomes from a large number of studies that are very beneficial for people like you and I. The third book, which is really, again, a complement to these 2 books, is a book by Angela Duckworth known as Grit. And Grit is different because it is the inner stamina, the inner energy, the inner focus, the inner drive, the inner intention that a person may have and can develop to achieve amazing outcomes. The book Grit is written by a professor of psychology that teaches in business school. And it really is incredible because it also does away with the concept of IQ and genius. It does focus on how can the average person, like you and I, do well in a job, be self-motivated, be focused, and to achieve a lot. So these three books, The Happiness Track, Peak, and Grit, are, I believe, essential readings for anyone who in the beginning of 2017 wants to have a good grasp of what is going on in the latest studies, in the latest fields of endeavor and knowledge in psychology, and how to basically drive the most and deliver the best for themselves in terms of psychological output, motivation, organization, and purpose. These are my findings of these three books. There are a lot of other books that came out that are very, very interesting, but these three books, I think, are the three that I would recommend if you had to do three books. At some other time, I may recommend my 10 favorite books for 2016, but the books are coming out at a good pace, and these books are coming out now, but they're not even at this point really studied in graduate school in psychology or elsewhere. So basically, these books that are coming out are really cutting edge and they're way ahead of their times.